If you live in a van like me, or RV, or a tiny house, and you want to be self-sufficient, and you don't want to go to the store and buy bread, and you want to have delicious bread like that, I'm going to show you how to make a recipe that's very easy to make, uses no measurements. I don't measure anything, I just do it by eye, and the bread will come out delicious. I use 2 cast iron skillets. I use a third one that's going on top of the flame, and then this one on top like this. And what this one does is absorb the heat and then transfer to this one, and the bottom of this one is not touching the bottom of that one because this one is slightly smaller. If you have a Dutch oven, then that's even better, but I don't have room for one. I use these, and these work perfectly well. The next thing you need is the flour. I was using this organic all-purpose flour, and I made some beautiful bread with it, but I was having some issues. My bread was always very dense, and it didn't quite act like some other breads that I've seen being made. So I bought this bread flour. It's not organic. I will try to find some organic bread flour. Once I have a bowl, my flour ready, and the mother, I'm going to pour some lukewarm water that I just heated a little bit, and I'm going to pour it into this bowl, and I'm just going to eyeball it. I'm going to eyeball an amount that I want. I've done this before, and from experience, my vast experience, which is very limited, but I kind of know more or less how much water I want to put in here for the amount of bread, for the size of loaf that I want. Next step is to get some of the mother, and I'm going to take 2 scoops of the mother, and I'm going to put 2 scoops in here. Now these are going to be heaping scoops like this, and it smells sour. Come on. And I got a little bit on me, so you just take it out, and here comes the second scoop. Heaping scoops, that's all I'm going to do. Then I'm going to mix this thoroughly until the mother is completely dissolved in the water. Now that it's thoroughly dissolved, I'm going to get some ionized salt, and I'm just going to eyeball an amount into the palm of my hand, about that much. And now I'm going to get a clean spoon, and I'm going to start adding some of the bread flour, unbleached, and I'm going to add it in here until I see that I have the right consistency. At this point, I'm going to add just a little bit more flour. And I'm going to mix that thoroughly, making sure all the flour is incorporated in the dough. You want to have this kind of consistency. And now you want to cover it for about 30 minutes or so. It's been a little over 30 minutes, and now I'm going to get this dough out of here, but before that, you want to get a smooth, flat surface. I have this cutting board that I've never used for meats, only to cut vegetables. So you want to have something that's clean and preferably that you've never used to cut meats. I'm going to get some more of the bread flour, and I'm going to sprinkle some of it over here like that. I'm going to incorporate a little bit more flour as I see fit until it folds up nicely and it doesn't stick in my hand. I just dipped this paper towel in my coconut oil, and the next thing I want to do is I want to spread this coconut oil on this clean bowl, and what's that going to do is prevent my dough from sticking to this. I'm going to get some of the coconut oil underneath this plastic wrap so that the dough doesn't stick to it. It's about 4 o'clock in the afternoon. By 4 o'clock in the morning it'll be 12 hours, and depending on the size that this has grown, I might bake it at 4 o'clock, 4:30 in the morning. So it's been almost 3 hours since I put this dough away, and it's grown a little bit. Now I'm going to put it away until tomorrow, and hopefully tomorrow it'll come out of this bowl nice and easy, and I'll have a beautiful loaf of bread. It's just past 4 a.m. the next day. My dough has risen quite a bit, and I'm no expert, but when you touch your dough and it does that, it bounces back, it's a sign that it's quite ready to go, and it smells quite nice. Now I'm going to take my sharp knife and I'm going to make a couple cuts over the top so that the moisture inside has a way to escape. I'm going to let this heat up for a few minutes until it's quite hot. Alright, now I'm going to let this bake for about 15 minutes or so. And here's the end result. Look at this beautiful loaf. It sounds hollow. Ow, ow, it's hot. Beautiful. I'm going to let it cool for a while. Actually, I'm gonna let it cool all day. I'm not gonna eat into it. I actually baked it a lot more than I did all my other loaves in the past. And what I did was I just kept flipping it. I originally I set it for 15 minutes one side, 15 minutes the other side. Then I did 5 minutes, and then just about every 5 minutes I kept flipping it because I'm doing it on a stove top. So every 5 minutes or so, depending on your stove, depending on the temperature that you set it for, you should keep flipping it over and over until you start getting a nice feel to it. So basically this is more by feel than by anything else. What I did also was add a little bit of water, and I did that a couple times because every time I flip it, steam comes out, and because I'm not baking in an oven, I can't keep the loaf under a tight lid. So I added water a couple more times, but other than that, yeah, I think it's a very beautiful loaf of bread. Here we are in the afternoon, and my bread is nice and cool, and I'm going to cut into it. I'm really interested to see what it looks like. So here we go. It looks absolutely beautiful. Look at that. Oh, the taste. It's absolutely delicious. Sourdough bread, made in a van. Truly, truly, I say to you, he who believes has eternal life. I am the bread of life. John 6:47-48.